Hi everybody, it's 9/9/2016 and I'm going to do my best to capture a healing session that I just did into the universal core, changing timelines for Gaia. When these healings come, they come in with so much information and such a rush, almost like a waterfall is coursing through me. So I'm just going to do my best to recall what we did was we went back to the point of 220,000 years ago when the electric wars began. And the sequence of events that occurred after that 220,000 year ago marker were like a domino of effects that created the fall of the earth into its third dimensional form that it is now. So we went back to 220,000 years ago in the time cycle, and I don't exactly understand, but the inception point of those wars were stopped, and it was connected with the destruction of planet Tiamat. So we redid the timeline where Nibiru never crashed into Tiamat. That was incredible grief, and that was actually triggered by me smashing my fifth dimensional toe, which your left big toe is your fifth dimensional toe, interestingly enough. And the reciprocal is your right thumb. So that fifth dimensional toe, I smashed it into the tire of my mom's car, and it was bleeding a lot. And that toe has been going through tremendous trauma with fungus and just really, really going through some mythic anguish in that toe. And finally it came to a head. It came to a toe when I smashed it into my mom's tire, the metal part of my mom's tire, and it bled. And then I woke up this morning with this full anguish of Tiamat exploding, and the pain in my toe connecting me to the fifth dimensional hijack when the earth fell into darkness. And so this whole healing that occurred this morning was like a do-over. It was going back to the mind of God, into the Akasha of our timeline that has led us to this timeline right here. Actually, now it's changed. The timeline before this healing. And what we did was we went back into the time fields and healed these events so they never happened. And then we have a new birth transduction sequence. So it's like we shifted, we went into the hard drive and accepted a new timeline for Gaia. And I strongly believe that this timeline, while it was healing, I could see the pipeline and what's going on with the government right now and the court decision and the pipeline and the restoration of the Native American lands, right? Because the Native American elders have really been the holders of this remembering the divine feminine, remembering the beauty and the power of life, of water, of life, right? Of the organic living Gaia the way she was meant to be. And I also saw a healing of Hillary Clinton, oddly enough. They showed me the timeline of Hitler. They showed me the timeline of, God, so many timelines were coming in. It's hard to, Aleister Crowley, Hitler, Holocaust, Machu Picchu in Peru is linked to the fifth dimensional hijack, which is connected to the Holocaust timelines, which is connected to the Nazis, which is connected to the Orion Wars, right? The Nazis are connected to the Black Dragons, the Draconians, the Orions group. So I saw all these influences receiving healings. I mean, huge healings, so that these never affected our timeline. And so the whole satanic ritual abuse matrix never happened. This erased. And so all this healing of Hillary and her connection to that matrix, the healing of the whole Clinton family, the Bush family, then we went to the governments, all governmental officials in the United States that were ever overtaken by this matrix, all abuse of children in this matrix, just huge amounts of download, erasing the darkness from this timeline and remembering Gaia in its paradisical, immaculate conception of the union of masculine and feminine throughout all time, having never been hijacked. And in this unification of the masculine and feminine comes the restoration of the true Stonehenge. It's not in England, it's in Ireland. And at the mouth of the body of Gaia's core manifestation template is in England, in a place called Albion. And that manifestation template of Gaia has been being fed, let's put it this way, the living light codes that generate and animate the body of the core manifestation template of Gaia have been blocked from receiving mother's milk. They've been receiving shit codes of distorted crap that's been blocking these beautiful Sophianic light codes from reanimating that, what Lisa Renee, my wonderful teacher and friend, the reanimator forces of the living light from the galactic constellations. All 12 constellations in the galaxy have connector points in the earth, and those have been being blocked so that the body of ascended Gaia, the resurrected Gaia, could not receive her codes. So we removed, at the mouth of where those codes are received by the Albion body, we ripped off the hijack of their fucking siphon point, pardon me, and restored Sophianic code input to this body. And I know I should be speaking as if duality doesn't exist, because really what we did was we brought in a timeline where none of this, you and me, us and them, even exists. So we can just say that those who have been perceived to be the dark ones on this earth have really been this incredible blessing, because they have implanted this matrix of duality, of the extremes of darkness and light, of contraction and expansion, of fear and isolation, and expansive unity and love. They have implanted this matrix of extreme duality so that we could be at this point where we could be a container huge enough in this containment of all duality that we could welcome back a timeline of immaculate conception to literally baptize us. If we hadn't had these extremes of duality, there's no way we could bring in the extremes of light that will be coming in to transform this entire fallen matrix. As the Sophianic code of living light begins to permeate creation, it's like terraforming a barren earth into a vibrantly alive, multicolored mecca of thriving love throughout all parameters of creation. And of course, this starts in our individual bodies as microcosms of the macro. Everything in our own bodies coming online, being rewritten by the code of divine love. And being able to hear the song of love coming from the soul monad. The song of love that guides us on our footsteps. And my right ear has been totally plugged with this cold. And I've been grieving the inability to hear in this ear. And this morning, as this cleansing, as this healing happened, I could feel the grief of my deafness. The grief of all the parts of my brain that have been loyal to the lie of lack and limitation. Right, that have been implanted and hijacked by Armageddon timelines of terror and isolation and fear. And just saying, take those, Divine Mother, cleanse those from this whole facility of my ear and even the part of the brain that connects to the hearing. Let my hearing be attuned to the Queen of Heaven, right, the King of Heaven. Let my hearing be attuned to that which wants the very highest manifestation for me on this planet. Let all of our hearing be attuned to the song of benevolence to the song of blessing, to the Queen and King of heaven who hold us as their only begotten child and who want nothing more for us than the absolute, most beautiful bounty of joy and abundance in all parameters of this physicality. Financial abundance, relationship abundance, circulatory abundance, life force abundance, gratitude, visual abundance, auditory abundance, for all of us, for all sentient beings. And so on this 9/9/2016, we say to you now, a new timeline is available. And I made it available to every human being as it was coming in. As the guardians were handing me this timeline, they said, anyone in this universe that wants to receive this upgrade has access now. Receive, vote for your upgrade. So if you answered yes, and even if you answered no, this upgrade will come in time. It will come slower if you answered no. But if you answered yes, we are in for an accelerated timeline of the return of love to all creation, which means an accelerated timeline of purging all disconnection from that love. So stay connected, stay attuned. If you need help moving through emotional body clearing, that's my specialty. I'm the liquefier, the enema of the waterfall that pours through all things, because that's what has had to be for me to be able to survive this particular karma that I signed up to be a vehicle for. Anyway, that's kind of a long video, but I feel like I did a good recap of what's happening and the importance of this upgrade and the accelerated timeline we're moving into. So I hope you hang with me till the end of this video. If you love me and know me, you probably will. And I'll just tag everyone who's working frontline